Welcome back to Try Your Hand. Today we will be making some glass block winter decorations. So why don't we get started? You will need a glass block, some ornaments, a LED strip with a battery, some white paint, a brush, a couple of pieces of paper, and some toothpicks. You will also need some tinsel. So the first step would be to unwind your LED lights and then wrap the LED lights around your tinsel. I did this about 3 times. So now you can start preparing to put your ornaments into your glass block. I put a couple of ornaments down at the bottom first and then put in a bit of my tinsel, and I tried to kind of switch off between the tinsel and the ornaments so that I got an even amount of ornaments and tinsel in the glass block, because I didn't want all my ornaments to be in one spot and the tinsel to be in another spot. I wanted it to be kind of distributed through evenly. It's a little harder than it looks. I had to zhuzh a lot of the ornaments to make them go in the places that I wanted to go, but in the end it did turn out good. So when you are kind of done with that, you want to tape the little battery pack of the LED lights on the back side of your glass block. I did try to put it kind of by the hole that you're sticking all your ornaments and things through, but I think the best place would be the back of your glass block. So now that I have the placement of my ornaments in the place that I want them, I can start making my snowflake templates. So what I just did is just take a piece of paper and I cut it in half and then kind of folded it a couple of times diagonally in order to make that like little triangle shape. And then from there I cut out like little triangles off the sides and such, like a regular paper snowflake. So if you don't want to freehand a snowflake, you can actually get a whole bunch of different templates off the internet. I know that Pinterest has a ton of different snowflake templates that you can use. Also, another thing I should mention is that the size of snowflake that I was making in this one is a little bit bigger than maybe you would want to make it. So that means like your little square piece of paper or whatever would have to be about maybe like 3 or 4 inches, and then you start, you know, folding it in half and then folding it in that, so to make that little triangle. So once you have a couple of snowflakes that you like, you can start placing the snowflakes on the front side of your block to see where you want your snowflakes to be. So as I started figuring out where exactly I wanted my snowflakes, I was kind of moving them around, and I found that I like the placements of the snowflakes in the corners. Really, you can do anything. So once you've figured out where exactly you want your snowflakes to be, you'd want to then tape down the snowflakes onto your glass block. You could either use double-sided tape, or you'll have to take like regular Scotch tape and flip it over itself so it sticks to itself, and then put that on the back of your snowflake and then stick that onto your glass block. So once the snowflakes are securely in place, you want to then start painting over your snowflakes with the white paint. You kind of don't want to move the template around too much, so especially when you're painting on top of the snowflakes, you want to just kind of dab the brush onto your glass block, just so that it doesn't move as much as it would if you were like really like brushing across the whole thing. So once you have that done, you can then paint the whole front side of the glass block white. So in order to take away the brush strokes on my glass block, I took like a paper towel or a Kleenex and I started to dab the Kleenex on top of the wet paint just to kind of make it look a little frosty. And then in certain areas I took the paint off more than others just so that the LED lights show through the paint. You don't want it to be completely obscured by the white paint. You want it to see the tinsel and the ornaments and the lights. So a trick I found that was really helpful to me was that if you find that the acrylic paint is like drying a little too quickly for you, you can kind of repaint that area with paint and it like reactivates the dry paint, and then you can start kind of dabbing and taking off the amount of paint that you want taken off. With this technique here, you have some areas that are quite opaque with the white paint and then other areas that are see-through. So it really does give that look of like a frosted window or something like that. So now that you are finished painting, you want to take off the templates that we made. It is going to be a little bit messed up, but don't worry, that's what the toothpicks are for. So because acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, you can then start using your toothpick to kind of clean off any of the excess paint that's left on the inside of your snowflakes, the part that you want to be clear. So as you can see, I'm just cleaning off those little parts that have some excess paint on them, just so that you can really see the little shapes of inside of the snowflake. For this section, it is best for you to let it dry fully so that you aren't taking off wet specks of paint. That was one of the problems I was having because I did this part a little too quickly after I painted it. So just make sure that you let it dry first, and then you can start going in with your toothpick, just cleaning and, you know, crisping up those edges. Okay, so once you have finished that, you are complete with your project. If you want the paint to stick on a little bit longer, you will have to maybe put some clear coat on there, some like clear sealant on it. I tried Mod Podge, but didn't give me the look that I wanted, so you'll have to try something else. Hope you guys had fun with this project. Show us pictures of how your projects turned out. You can do that through Facebook and through Instagram. And if you're interested in the next project for January, we're making some no-sew like snowman decorations. So sign up for that if you're interested. Okay, we'll see you next time.